going to start just thinking about this idea of connect and redirect. Um, and again, one thing I really try and hold on to this idea is that when we are disciplining our children, we're trying to say no to the behavior, but yes to the child and yes to the emotion. So often, and I definitely know that I do this, we might discipline on autopilot and we get caught in a bit of a cycle. So our child might act, we then act in response to what's happened. Our child then reacts to that, we then react to that, and so on. And I think we can all relate to giving out consequences without really thinking about what we're doing, what we're saying, and our voice raising in an attempt to discipline. And I know how counterproductive that can be in terms of getting where we want to be. So for me, a crunch point in our household is the morning, getting shoes and coats on to leave the house for school. And my son now said to me, "Mummy, your shouty voice is coming out." And that's a real moment for me to pause, because I know
Mm.
once I've started to get to that point, they're going to get really emotional and we're not going to get out the house in time. And that's the one thing I'm trying to achieve. And so I really try now to pause and take a breath, because I was definitely doing that on autopilot.
And
So the first step in effective discipline is connecting with our children emotionally. So our relationship with our children should be central to everything we do. And so when we're talking about connection, we're thinking about how we give our child attention, how we respect them, how we listen to them, and how we value their contribution to problem solving, and how we're communicating that we're on their side, whether we like the way that they're acting or not. So again, it's that idea we might not like the behavior that they're showing us, but we're saying yes to the child. We're still there with them, connecting with them. And again, this is something that I find really helpful to remember, is that when our children are most upset, when they're showing us behavior that we don't like, it's often when they need the most connection with us. They don't want to feel frustrated, enraged, out of control. And usually, this is a sign that they're having a really hard time dealing with what's going on around them or inside them. And they don't have the capacity to manage those big feelings that they're experiencing. And so, those actions that they're showing us, they are that sign to us, that message that they need help, that bid for a kind of connection. They don't have the words to be able to say that to us yet. And through that connection, we can try to soothe and calm that internal storm. And then once they've calmed down, we can help them then to make better decisions. And so when they feel that love and acceptance from us, even in those moments when we're not necessarily liking the behavior that they're showing us, that's going to help them to regain that control. And that's when the effective discipline can take place. So that connection helps to move them out of that reactive state and into a state where they're more receptive to the lesson that we might want to teach in that moment.